Good morning. It is Monday, Cinco de Mayo. Happy birthday to my first oldest little brother. Happy birthday to you, Junior. Um, Giving all honor and praise to the Most High. Thank you for waking us up and giving us another day to be better today than we were yesterday. Shout out to my Mexican compadres out there. Um, Enjoy this day. If you guys plan on drinking tonight, this is for anybody. Make sure that you have a plan. The movie Sinners. I did not even know that movie was out. I didn't see any previews. I didn't get no trailers. And I watch a lot of YouTube. And for some reason, I get ads for stretch pants and AI stuff and dumb stuff that I'm never, ever, ever going to use and does not relate to me, and things that I haven't talked about on the interwebs or, out loud that the phone picked up. I get ads for stuff like that. But I did not get an ad for Sinners at all. And you know how I found out that Sinners was actually a movie that was out and playing in the theaters? Was from another YouTuber. I heard one YouTuber talk about it and I said, Sinners, okay. Then I heard another YouTuber. I said, oh, okay, well, they mentioned it. Let me go check out the trailer. I was like, well, I love me some Michael B. Jordan. I think he's cool. I think he's a great actor. I made my son watch Creed. Like, he's a really good actor. So I said, let me go check it out and see. And I was not disappointed at all. I heard people say, oh, I went to go see it 2 and 3 times. Is it worth going to see a second and a third time? It just depends on your taste. Now, I do believe it was an awesome movie. Very, very awesome. And it is actually so good that I want to take my son to see it. But what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to wait until it comes on video. Then I'm going to rent it, and make my son watch it, because there are so many life lessons, things like that. So many takeaways to discuss, which should be apparent, should be obvious, but oftentimes they're not. And sometimes when you see things on the big screen, it makes a difference and it hits a lot differently. The cinematography, the choreography was absolutely top tier. Ryan Coogler did his thing. Michael B. Jordan, as twins, did his thing. And the whole time I'm thinking to myself, Roy Harvey really effed up. I'm trying to figure out, what was it about Michael B. Jordan that she was like, nah, been there, done that, tried it, I'm good, nah. Because that man is fun. That man can act. Just the facial expressions alone throughout the movie was real top tier acting. There was a point in the movie where Lil Sammy started singing as he was playing the guitar, and the look on Smoke or Stack, I don't know which one it was, Smoke and Stack looked like it was just the facial expression, the everything. Such a good actor. I mean, so it's like, the man is handsome, the man is talented, the man is athletic, body for days. He seems like a gentleman. What else could it be that just wasn't hitting, I wonder? I digress. But no, very, very good acting. I will say this. If you left during the first credits, you missed out on a whole other ending. A lot of people, at least half of the theater, left. I ended up staying while the credits were rolling only because my knee had locked up and I knew that I was going to be limping going down them steps. So I said, let me stretch my knee right quick and let everybody else leave, and then I'm going to get up and go. So that's how I ended up seeing the last part. And honestly, that is the only part of the movie that made me cry. I didn't cry throughout anything in the movie. Nothing was tear jerking like that. Even the part where, he's meeting up, he's in the afterlife and he sees his child's mother and the baby. Even that didn't make me cry. What made me cry was at the very end, that last ending scene where they come in dressed like the 90s. And that was so picturesque, just watching her with her hair up like that. Beautiful girl. And then him dressed like that with the Gumby, and he's got on the Coogee sweater, and they come in and just reminding me of the 90s when times were just so good. And the fact that they spared Sammy was just like, it was something about that scene that made me just kind of remember old times when we were just so much more unified as a people in this country, But that ending was superb. the perfect ending. So if you left during the first credit, you missed out on a really, really great part of the movie, which is the very end, where Sammy is already grown and older, you know? So, but just an awesome movie. Excellent movie. It really, really saddens me to know that they want to pit the high yellow quarter black woman versus the black woman's role stacks. I think it was stack, or so I don't know which one is smoking, which one is I don't remember, right? But the one who prayed for him the whole time. Let me tell you something. People online will take anything and turn it into colorism and racism when it just doesn't have to be that way. A lot of times we are our own worst enemy. And I told somebody that I would be on their panel this Tuesday and the topic is colorism. And I said, damn, why? I'm trying to get out of that lane. I'm trying to not go there because I honestly, wholeheartedly feel like when we perpetuate it, we keep it alive and it becomes a thing. And I don't think it has to be, you know, because there were times back in the day in the past where your color meant nothing. We were just humans, you know? So I wish we would get past that. But online, there's this big debate as far as this lady being portrayed as a mammy. You know, why the black woman got to be the mammy. That woman wasn't a mammy. There was nothing mammy about that woman at all. When I first seen that woman come on the screen, I said, oh my God. Do you see the cheekbones on that woman? Do you see the skin on that woman? Do you see that body on that woman? Like, I said, where did they find this woman? Because I've never seen her before. You know, both women are beautiful in their own right. But it was something about this black woman who loved her man so much so that she prayed for him the whole 7 years that he was gone. And I don't know about you, but if you ain't never had a man that had a rough day or had somebody at his toes or somebody on his heels at his job or just life beating him up, and your man ain't never laid his head in your lap and cried, or your man ain't never laid his head on top of your chest and you just hold him. If you ain't never had the opportunity to do that for your man, then what are we doing? That's a woman. What nothing made me about it. That was a woman that loves her man. When you love your man, listen, you want to take care of him. You want to rock him. You want to mother him. You want to nurture what you love. That comes naturally. Ain't nothing mammy about that whatsoever. So I hate this narrative that people always have to put out there. Black versus white, light versus dark. Like, oh my God. We have a long ways to go. We have a long ways to go. We are literally our own worst enemy. So it was really disheartening to see articles and videos about this because it's just like, why? Why we can't just let a good movie be a good movie and move on? Like, it's always something. But I digress. The movie in itself was amazing. Lots of life lessons. Um, the biggest takeaway for me is that in life, God will always send a person or a circumstance to warn you every single time. There's always something, whether it be your gut instinct, whether it be another person, whether it be a sign that you have to stay tapped into in order to even recognize, but he will always send a sign before destruction. And oftentimes as humans, we ignore those signs because we want to do what we want to do because of our pride and our ego. And our pride and our ego will get us caught up every single time. Every single time. God protects babies and fools all the time. And Sammy was a fool. He also wanted to do what he wanted to do, but God gave him grace and mercy. And he was spared. But you guys have to go and watch the movie and see it for yourself. I don't want to talk about it in detail. I just wanted to make those few points about the movie because I just wanted to get that off my chest. But it was a good movie. There are a lot of people reviewing the movie in detail. online that I haven't watched yet, and I will go check it out. But um, lots of life lessons, things that I want to point out to my son in particular. Just about what I reached recently expressed, but also there was a part where Delroy Lindo, who was fine. Ooh, that black man is fine. That older man is fine, boy. Ooh, that man fine. And then with the gold in his mouth and that gets that black skin and them white teeth, child, please. I need $20 a night, every night. Can you promise me that? Sometimes you got to do quick math. You got to do quick math in your head before you just jump at something that ain't going to be profitable in the long run. Excellent movie. Go check it out. I love the fact that a lot of people are reviewing this movie. I think that YouTube has given the most promo from this movie than whoever Ryan Coogler and them paid to advertise, because I didn't see not one trailer. I just happened to watch somebody's quick review about it, or somebody state that they went to go see it, and I said, well, what is that? And then I saw another person say they actually saw the movie, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, this is the second person that's mentioned this movie. Maybe I should go check it out. And now I'm seeing all of the ads, not the ads, but still no ads, but I'm seeing a lot of people review the movie. So this movie is doing really good numbers, and I think that it's all due to people reviewing it on YouTube. So shout out to YouTube content creators for putting Sinners on the map and advertising for it, because otherwise I personally would not have known, and I don't think a lot of other people will have known that this movie came out. But anyways, you guys drop down in the comments and tell me what you thought of the movie. If you went to see it, do you want to go see it? Do you think it was good? I also saw a clip from Plies stating, I don't need to go see no movie to be no sinner. Plies is a fool. Plies could be a coon sometime. No, I ain't gonna lie. Plies could be a coon sometime. So I don't listen to him very often, but if something controversial comes up and there's a clip, I'll see it of him. But he said, I don't need to go see no sinners. No, to know how to do that. I'm a sinner all by myself. I don't need to, but I think he's missing the whole point of, the whole premise of the movie, So hopefully he went to see it anyway. It's not about how to become a sinner. Like, at the end of the day, we are all sinners. All of us sin. Every single last one of us has fallen short of the glory of God, which is why when I wake up in the morning, I go to bed at night, I have to ask the Lord for forgiveness. So I have to say, forgive me, Lord, for anything that I may have said or done that was not of you, So the movie is not about how to sin. It's really about, for me, it's really about paying attention to the signs, the warning signs that God will reveal beforehand. We have to take heed, and we have to stay tapped into Him in order to know that that warning is coming from Him, our gut instinct. Otherwise, we will fall victim and we'll become a sinner, just like these fools in this movie. But anyways, y'all take care.